I think the number one problem that we have with the Democratic Party is they have ceded ground to the right because they've somehow convinced themselves that the Republicans have won the day on the merits. They have won the day on public support. They have won the day that their policies are right. And they're fundamentally wrong about that. Why the Republicans won? Because I think it's a variety of things, but primarily it's the Democrats are not standing on business. Like, there's a fundamental problem when you run in the primaries, you run sounding like a progressive. That gets a lot of energy. That gets a lot of people excited. That excites your base. And a lot of times at that point, they're ready to go out and work for you and help you win, potentially in the general. And then what do? For like most of my life now, we have this stupid pivot to the right for the general. Get some kind of sage advice or something. And that sage advice comes from the paid loser consultant class and establishment Dems. It really comes from the billionaires that don't want you to rock the boat, don't promise anything too big. We literally have had billionaires on TV. I forget the guy's name, but he was saying, no bumps in the road. That's it. Don't rock the boat any more than that. And they're saying, cave to what the billionaires want. We're not going to talk about serious reforms that would actually help the American people. We're definitely not going to talk about raising actually having like a wealth tax, actually having like healthcare for all, Medicare for all, universal education from preschool to a college, grad school. No, we're not going to talk about that stuff. You pivot to the right, you sound like a Republican light, and what happens? We get almost like a 50-50 split. Sometimes Democrats win, sometimes the Republicans win. Why? Because nobody's satisfied with that bullshit. And the only people that end up sounding like they're actually going to fight for the people are the fucking liars on the right and Republicans. If they're not stoking fucking racism and saying horrible things about marginalized people, they actually sound like they're going to do some things, even though they're always fucking lying. But you sound like them. When you offer people Republican light or full Republican, they go full Republican because they watched you switch. They watched you code switch in the worst fucking way. You code switched in favor of billionaire policy, and that's why you lose. Stop. Pull harder to the left. Really ignite your base. In the general, if you want to be a little bit more realistic, listen, we are going to fight like hell for these things, but if we don't win enough seats, it is going to be a longer road to get this done. We're going to have to fight like hell. We will fight like hell, and we will tell you who the fucking enemy is. These autocratic fascists who we just watch try to destroy this fucking country. You tell them during the campaign season what these assholes sign their names to, what they vote for, the bills that are cleverly named. They have like policies like right to work. What that actually means is it's the undermine unions bill, which means less rights for union members, less rights for people that get positively impacted by having unions. It undermines the wages that they could have got. It undermines the working conditions that they could have had improved. It undermines the possibility of more pensions, right? You tie it to actual policy. You tie it to actual reality. Like, pay attention. Don't pay attention to the name. Read the bill. Understand the language of the bill, and you actually analyze the effects in the past of what these things do. They are anti-worker, pro-billionaire. That's what that party is. They're trying to say that the Democratic Party has abandoned the workers. It could have done better. Joe Biden moved things in the right direction in terms of like some union things. He did a couple things that we didn't like, but he was more pro-union than past presidents have, including Obama. But we can have conversations about how much further left that we should actually go and how feasible things are, and make the case. We can't afford not to have Medicare for all. We can't afford not to have it. It would be cheaper. It'd be universal, so nobody's just going, so-and-so gets it and I don't get it, or they get more. No. Universal programs, and housing first policies, because humanity matters, human rights fucking matter, human decency fucking matters, a life with dignity matters, getting people help, no questions asked, matters. We would rather do that than put people in prison or pay more money when they have to go to the emergency room instead of getting preventative care. Shit like that. Harm reduction strategies. Don't let these assholes demonize the idea like, hey, you bitch and moan all the time about drug problems, but I have not seen one solution that you guys have offered ever aside from just jailing these folks and hiding them. You're not solving the problem. If anything, I see the shit that you guys have done south of the border, where those guys got more weapons thanks to the NRA-backed weapons industry and making the drug wars worse. And our own CIA has done some stupid shit with that. You can make actual arguments, but I have to suspect if you don't change your rhetoric and you don't talk like this, I assume you're a billionaire butt buddy and you're a collaborator and we should fight against you. Anybody in the Democratic Party who is saying we can't primary our own incumbents, fuck you. Did you forget what party you belong to? Oh yeah, that's right, the Democratic Party. Where's the democracy in the Democratic Party if you're bitching and moaning about having primaries? Primaries strengthen the party. It gets rid of the rot and we get better fighters for the fucking people. Unless you've just solidified the people that only work for the billionaires that they have invested in. I'm sorry, but we have to go forward with a fuck the billionaires policy. We're going to have a fuck the billionaires policy for the billionaires' own sake, because if we keep going down the fucking road that we're on, it is going to be bad news even for the billionaires, because people are going to be coming for them. People are struggling. People are barely getting by. We need major structural reforms. If we don't do it now, when the fuck are we going to do it? Because it looks to me like liberals just want to keep going with the status quo. Well, everybody gets fucking mulched. And I'm not interested in that bullshit. It's democratic socialism moving towards fuller social. We need a mixed economy that is way left of center with all the different components. We need more worker power, more workers' rights, workers having the means of production. We need to have a planned economy where everybody gets all the fucking basics covered. You get some kind of, definite baked in monetary benefits. You get all your basic stuff covered. Housing, food, and healthcare should be baked in. Education, childcare, mandatory fucking vacation, pension, some kind of universal pension plan would be my preference. And, some kind of emergency benefits. Like, if you're going to have insurance, it should be universal, should be across the board, should be for everybody. Not a whole bunch of little companies that are just trying to figure out different ways to take money off the top and make a bunch of executive rich. We need a bottom-up economy where we make sure everybody that is working in America is covered as fuck. And then if we have room for extra, fine, we have room for extra. But you can't be a vulture on society without paying a fucking consequence for it. Once we figure out what the fuck you're up to. Anyway, that's my piece. Love you guys. Take care. I want to hear what positive vision you have, and I want to hear your argument for how Democrats should be fighting harder. And also, I would argue we should call both parties cowards till they make room for other parties. They cannot have this dominant influence over everything where we're stuck with these two fucking monsters. We need some kind of emergency clause, and I think we need to do something like Germany did with ensuring that there's independent oversight with powers to ensure that our Constitution is being followed. And we also need some kind of emergency check in case this shit happens again, where the bad faith, evil fucking party, autocratic fascists get all the branches and they just go hog wild and do whatever the fuck they want. And there's no check. That cannot happen again. It cannot. It cannot. We shouldn't have to be in a position where we have to basically have some kind of revolution in order to overturn these guys. There should be a process where we get to go, nope, we get to ignore all your shit. Nobody's following any of your shit. You are to be removed. We are shutting all your shit down. I don't know, pull the fucking plug basically on all of it. Nope, all of their assets are frozen. They are on, there's some sort of international power that goes, nope, we're independent oversight. We're not playing this fucking game. You guys are on the most wanted list everywhere in the world, and we're gonna have people coming for you or something. Because I don't know, it sounds scary, but what else do we fucking do? It's the American government. They have all the fucking levers of power, and now we're just like waiting until I don't know what. Hopefully something happens where we move things and things get better, but things are not looking good right now. It really isn't. We saw what happened with China. We saw what happened with Russia. Russia's stuck in a fucking autocracy, an oligarchy. China, same shit. Different kinds of fascism in both places. Hungary. There's a bit of a slide right now with Hungary. I don't know. I gotta go. I'll see you guys. Bye.